Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kayleigh. Welcome if you're new. If you're coming back, hi. I appreciate you. So I am here today recording the new moon videos. Of course, this new moon is actually a solar eclipse, so this video will be a little bit different. I'll be using a different spread. I'll be using what's called the Destiny spread. It's quite fun. It's 15 cards. And before I get into the actual readings, I want to talk just a little bit about this eclipse. Now, I am pretty new to studying astrology, so I will do my best to explain what I do know and kind of go from there. Okay, so all right. So first of all, one of the first things that will be different about these videos is that I will not be talking about what area of life you should be starting something new, because eclipses, it's not just a regular new and full moon. The energy is extremely hard to predict. Eclipses, lunar and solar, bring fated events into your life that have to happen. Often, okay, I'm not going to say often, but sometimes they're crises that are meant to realign you to where you're supposed to be going. So what actually happens on an eclipse is, so the north and south node are points. They're fictional points. They don't actually exist. They're not planets, but they're points that show you what you need to work to let go of, what talents and stuff you're bringing already to the table, but that aren't really serving you so well, and what you need to strive to go towards. So the thing about eclipses is it really, really emphasizes this. So a lunar eclipse is a full moon, right? So when the sun is on the north node and the moon is on the south node. Well, this particular one anyway. So that's how this one happened, right? This last one that just happened. Sun is in Gemini, moon is in Sagittarius. So we were letting go, south node and Sagittarius, of beliefs, belief structures, long distance travel, feeling like we already know things, and we were learning to grow more into Gemini, which is learning new things, using our hands, being open to new information. So that's kind of the general theme of this particular eclipse cycle. So that was the full moon, right? Now we're at the new moon. Moon has come back around. Moon and sun are joining on the eclipse, on the north node, with Mercury, which is now in retrograde. So Mercury's like backing up the bus to join the sun, the moon, and the north node. Okay, so this new moon solar eclipse, what is happening now is there's a theme that's already come up for you that you are probably already aware of, that relates to the Sagittarius and Gemini themes in your life. And now the eclipse will be bringing in some fated events or messages, Mercury, that are showing you which way you need to go. Does that make sense? 4 for 4. Nice. So how this shows up for each ascendant and moon sign is going to be a little bit different, because each zodiac sign represents a different area of your life, right? So depending on what time you were born, that's going to change things. If you don't know what time you were born, then I suggest listening to your moon sign, and then your sun sign, because the moon sign is more individual. It's more personal than the sun. The sun represents what spirit wants you to become in this life, what you are working to become. But the moon represents your mind and your emotional makeup. And because the moon is the fastest thing that moves in our sky, it's more personal and individual. So if you don't know what time you're born, you don't know what ascendant you are, look for your moon sign and then your sun sign. General themes before I get into each sign and do the tarot readings is basically we're learning to let go of old beliefs, old belief structures, organized religion, how we travel across the globe. That obviously has changed dramatically. And we're faith in the established learning systems like higher education, like university and stuff. What we're going more towards is looking for being involved in our local neighborhood. That's Gemini. Getting more connected with our siblings and our neighbors. Being more open to new ideas and information and searching for the truth. It's less about already knowing, like I already know the truth and you can't tell me any different, and more about, oh, that is a new perspective. I'm interested in learning about that. So yeah, Gemini is also like using your hands and learning to speak. It's initiatory instructions. So it's the initial instructions when you're learning something new. So astrology courses, for example, or learning how to read tarot, or learning a new language, or learning how to cook for the first time. Like at the beginning of lockdown, everybody went on a huge sourdough craze, right? Alrighty. Libra. My little sister's a Libra. I love Libra. Okay, Libra. So, this eclipse. This is happening in your 9th house. So Libra, for you, everything that happens in zodiac is kind of flipped because you're Libra. You're 7th from Aries, so it's like the zodiac is upside down. So for most people, we've been letting go of hardcore beliefs of foreign travel, right? Or of traveling how we used to or and have been used to. Things like that. And embracing things that are closer to home and in our neighborhood. But for you, Libra, this eclipse is happening in your 9th house. So North Node in the 9th, South Node in the 3rd. So that's opposite. So you may be attracted to foreign travel, foreign lands, foreign loves. You may be exploring maybe new beliefs or maybe strengthening beliefs and letting go of sticking to just your neighborhood. You could be really interested in learning, doing some higher calling, higher learning, university, something like that. So a couple things about this eclipse in particular that I didn't mention in intro. Number one, it is squaring or being squared by Neptune, which brings a lovely flavor of deception and illusion and all of that fun stuff. In particular from media, but not just mainstream media, all types of media, alternative media, truth movement media, all of that. There's deception and spells and all of that type of loveliness. So be very, very sure before you share any information, whenever you come across something, to double check it, do a little bit of research before you share stuff. Magician research. Anyway. Oh, tarot. Yeah, the other thing that's happening with this is there's a supportive trine from Saturn, which Saturn is exalted in Libra. Don't know if you know that, but Saturn will help us with being diligent and responsible about the information that we receive. Yeah, so oh yeah, one last thing. Mercury. Just mentioned Mercury. Mercury's in retrograde right now. Will be in retrograde for the eclipse. But will be right next to the sun and the nodes and the moon. So what this means, actually, it has already passed the nodes and the moon and the sun. And it's coming back now. So it's like it has already gotten messages from the king, the sun, the moon, the queen, and the nodes, Rahu, the dragon's head, destiny. And now it's coming back to deliver new messages. So you can view this as like there will be some kind of message or communication from your higher self or your inner self or your guides or whatever it is that you believe in regards to where you're supposed to be focusing for this eclipse, what needs to change for this eclipse. You can receive this message from songs, from different forms of music, from a video that you watch, from a movie, from a conversation with a friend, from a spiritual guru, especially ninth house. Wow, I'm just talking about messages. Oh my god. This Mercury and Sagittarius. We're talking about Gemini, but ninth house. Anyway, so be open to that. And especially, like, typically with eclipses, you can get the message on the day of the eclipse or up to a few weeks after the eclipse. But with this one in particular, because Mercury, wow, hello magician, because Mercury's right there, and we're having this little retrograde action, you could receive a message, Knight of Swords, very quickly or very soon after the eclipse. Libra, Libra. I've been doing a lot of talking today. That was rough. But yeah, you could have some like typical. Okay, so eclipses are very hard to predict the energy and what's going to happen. Especially after the last couple of years. Wow. Sometimes there's a crisis that occurs, but if there is a crisis that occurs, it's for the purpose of realigning you. Libra. It's for the purpose of realigning you to where you're supposed to go. Okay. Destiny spread. 15 cards. Let's see if that one comes back out. 15 cards. I'm going to pull the first 3. I'm going to pull the first 3. Look at the bottom of the deck. And then Look at the rest. 2 8s right off the bat. 8's about abundance. The 9th house, by the way, the 9th house is an, according to Vedic astrology, traditional ancient Indian astrology, the 9th house is incredibly fortunate. It's an auspicious house. It's lucky. Okay, so bottom of the deck we have the 6 of Cups. This, I'm not a love reader, but this is about past life connections. This is about deep, fulfilling intimacy. It's about entwining with another person. It can bring about a lot of nostalgia. It could be getting lost in nostalgia or in the idea of intimacy, but the Lord of Pleasure is underneath the deck, so we'll see. We will see. So we got the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands reversed. So 8 of Wands is passionate messages and actions, but more particularly messages. So you could be sending messages. Somebody could be sending you messages. Hard to say. Either could be true. But that's the main theme of your reading. And the 8 of Swords, the Lord of Shortened Force. This is Jupiter in Gemini. Another 8. Sometimes this points to repeating cycles where you kind of keep yourself caught up in something. Sometimes it's about learning something new, and that pendulum swing that occurs when you learn something new of like, you want to be in the middle, but you kind of overshoot, and then you undershoot, and then you overshoot, and then you undershoot, and eventually you get it. But it is a blessing by Jupiter. It just, it doesn't always come out exactly how you want it to the first time around. And then we have the 7 of Wands reversed. So this is definitely about boundaries, defending what you have, putting up walls. Reversed, it could very well be bringing down some walls. Maybe, well, Libra, maybe you're quite guarded right now. I just got the image of archers shooting over top of the wall. You're quite guarded right now, but the messages are still coming through anyway. Okay. Alright, so first pile, second pile, third pile, fourth pile. This is first path, second path, psychological and emotional factors, situational factors, environmental factors. Jesus. And the last pile is karma and destiny. Ode, as my Swedish friend would say. Okay. I paused there because I had a moment of which way do I flip the cards? Fuck. Alright. So. Make them all nice. Alright. First pile. We have the 10 of Cups, the Blasted Tower in reverse, and the Hermit. Interesting. Very, very interesting, Libra. Okay, so the 10 of Cups is the last decan of Pisces. On one hand, this is like the ultimate fulfillment in like emotional and pleasure-seeking type stuff, pursuits. Words are hard right now. On the other, it can signal escapism. like getting lost in alcohol. I mean, these are opium flowers, for Christ's sake. Pick whatever is more true for you. Surrounded by the Hermit and Reverse Tower. So, Hermit. This is a very positive card. This is a card for Libra. You're Libra. You can tell I've been reading for a while. Virgo. This is Virgo. This is paying attention to your body. This is paying attention to your health. This is receiving messages from your body and honoring them. This is spending time alone when you need to. This is consulting with yourself. This is trusting yourself. This is keeping to yourself when you need to keep to yourself. It's prepare in the cycle of the year. The Hermit, Virgo, is right at the harvest, but it's right at the point when the sun is now past its peak and is about to go into the underworld cycle. So he's about to go into the underworld and he's preparing for that. So that is behind door number 1. But also the Blasted Tower in reverse. That's interesting. It could be that you're avoiding some kind of tower moment. And a tower moment can be anything from a shift in beliefs to some kind of accident, an ending of some kind. Or, you know, it could be, well, it's Mars. Okay, so I said this in the last reading as well. It's also ejaculation. Just saying. Getting people pregnant. But it's reversed, so that's not happening. It could be like it could be even like denying yourself interesting. Okay, so there's a couple ways to read these cards. They're in sets of 3, right, with their own category, but they also like kind of match up, right? Like the first card here, middle card, all the middle cards kind of go together, all the ones on the right go together, the left go together. So the other reversal in this one is the 7 of Wands, which is like letting down defenses, or yeah, lowering boundaries or whatever, being less defensive. The Blasted Tower is the only other reversed in this particular pile, and it's a tower coming down. So there's a theme here. Interesting. Okay, next pile, path number 2, could also be an elaboration on the first path. It doesn't necessarily have to be a separate fork in the road. We'll see how the cards turn out. 2 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups reversed, and the 7 of Cups. There's a pattern here as well. Excuse me. There's a pattern here as well. Matches the pattern of the other 2, where 2 are upright, 1 is reversed, and it's the same one in the sequence. It's kind of interesting. So 2 of Pentacles, harmonious changes, building something new, coming together for a shared purpose. It can also be juggling 2 of something. Libra, careful. With the 7 of Cups right next to it. The 7 of Cups, this has come out in a couple of readings now. This is the Lord of Illusory Success. This is an issue with intimacy in general, trust issues, not feeling not feeling fulfilled within yourself and looking to fill that void, which corresponds with the Two of Pentacles idea of juggling more than one. But it's that energy of that guy or that girl that has people fawning all over, fawning over them, and like they have the pick of the town, whatever, but deep down within they don't feel good about it. They don't feel right about it. And then the Four of Cups, the Lord of Blended Pleasure. This is the moon in Cancer. Cancer is your 4th house. No, 10th house. Never mind. 10th house. Anyway, natural 4th house is all about our deepest emotions, feeling nurtured, feeling comfortable, feeling okay in a nice little cocoon. The Four of Cups can also be like, we've got our grapes, we've got our nice chocolate, we've got our fancy dancy water, we've got the best beer, we've got the best of everything. The only thing is too much comfort leads to complacency, and that is when you can miss out on real good and like good gifts, like gifts that the universe is trying to throw at you. So again, that matches the theme of what I was saying about the Seven of Cups and stuff. I have goosebumps. So you can read this a couple of different ways. You can read it as you are denying yourself pleasures, or you're so lost in those pleasures, in all of the choices that you have, that totally missing out on real nourishment. Like going for the candy rather than the full meal. That's crazy that all 3 of these have the same pattern for upright and reversals. That's wild. Okay, environmental and psychological factors. We have the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the 10 of Wands reversed. 2 8s, 3 10s. Wow. So there's something significant that's coming to an end, and you know it. Very much so. Very, very, very much so. So 10 of Wands reversed is definitely not a bad thing. It's letting go of when you were overburdened with too much and you fucking let go of it, like too many projects, too many connections, too many things, too much responsibility, too much too many beliefs or obligations or whatever. It's letting go of those, or you'll be forced to let go of them, one or the other. Especially reversed. That's pretty nice. So actually how I'm seeing that is like these seem to be 2 separate paths, which is pretty cool. But yeah, on one path you're juggling but not feeling fulfilled, or comforted, or allowing for real intimacy. On the other path, you are allowing for intimacy. You're connecting to a higher self and preparing yourself for a real underworld cycle, and potentially avoiding an otherwise ugly situation. Yeah. And kind of what's influencing you right now is there is something this is wild because this is the last decan of Gemini. Gemini is where the eclipse is right now. Wow, I love tarot. So there's something coming to an end, some crisis approaching, and you are aware of it. That'll have to do with your beliefs, with what you, it could even be, actually, ninth house could even be family. It could be your father, or it could also be your mother, but something is happening there that is coming to an end. And you're releasing a bunch of burdens, so that's positive. The other thing about the 8, 9, and the 10 of Swords, they get a really bad rap. I mean, I did just talk about it in kind of pretty negative terms, but the point of these cards and these types of situations is that they teach you discipline, and they teach you discipline. They teach you, they are teachers. 3 10s though, whew. And then the Queen of Swords reversed. Again, this follows the same pattern of the left card being reversed. This is probably somebody around you, somebody near you, and actually, this is your energy. This is Libra. This is 2 decans of Libra and the last decan of Virgo. Either they're liars, they're manipulative, like they use their feminine wiles to get their way. It could be a death. I don't like saying that, but it's possible. Or it's somebody with really poor boundaries that can't make a decision for themselves, that needs somebody to take care of them, that is avoidant of the truth, that is avoidant of acknowledging reality. Instead of being intelligent and quick, they could be an airhead. I just got some chills. Wow. Instead of standing for truth and justice, it's the opposite of that. Sometimes reversals are asking you to strengthen the good parts of that card and release the negative parts of that card. So, I mean, this is psychological and environmental factors, but if this is you instead of somebody around you, it could be you, and it could be saying that maybe you're not being honest, maybe you're not being decisive, maybe you're not honoring your own boundaries. Well, whatever the case may be, there's significant endings. 3 out of 4 10s out of 72 total cards. Significant endings. Yep. So, last 3 cards. Karma, Destiny, Outcome. The 9 of Swords reversed. The Last Judgment in reverse. And the 6 of Pentacles upright. Karma, outcome, destiny, an end to anxiety, ignoring the call, not making a judgment call, not making a decision, denying an essential part of yourself. Hold on. Hold on a minute, Libra. The Last Judgment. You could be avoiding an ending. Could be a more like mundane level. It could be like ignoring somebody's call. I don't know. Yeah. And then you have the Six of Pentacles upright. So, an equalization, some material success, comforts, it's like once you let go of whatever is burdening you and end whatever cycle needs to end with this Queen of Swords character, you know what? She might be highly, highly judgmental, and you could be taking that judgment and telling her to shove it up her ass. I don't know. Interesting reading, Libra. Interesting reading. Whichever path you choose, I feel like right now you have some racing thoughts, and it will allow you to calm those a little bit once you make a decision. You could have somebody trying to come back into your life and that cycle is already ended and you're telling them no. Like the 3 10s. It's a lot of 10s, man. Let me see if I can pick up anything else before I end this reading, okay? Just give me one quick second. Okay, I feel like if you are too defensive and you don't allow in some kind of message, you're unable to balance the pendulum swing that I mentioned before, but then you could be denying yourself your destiny, your higher calling, your purpose. And yes, that will allow you to rest a little bit and might ease some anxiety, but will you really truly be fulfilled? I don't know. Yes, you might gain some material success from it. You might feel like you're achieving some kind of equilibrium. But is it truly satisfying? Another way you can read this Hermit card and the Ten of Cups and the reverse Tower is you could be avoiding dealing with the world, getting lost in escapism, and trying, keyword trying, to avoid some tower or ending or major shakeup. There's a lot of avoidance. And it feels like you're under tremendous amounts of pressure, either from yourself or from the outside. It kind of feels like you need to go on an adventure. Ninth house. Well, I'm really curious to see how this turns out for you, Libra. Ooh. Oh. I decided to pull one last clarifying card, and I pulled the Moon. So basically, how to get through this, which path to choose, is kind of what I was going for there. The Moon says that you have to use your intuition. You have to tap into your subconscious. You might be receiving dreams, different psychic impressions. Like I was saying at the beginning of your reading with talking about Mercury and getting some kind of message from Mercury. Literally, it's the center card that came out for your reading. Well, you'll have to tap into your higher self, and trust what comes up for that. You could be being psychically attacked, which could explain all of this. And I sense that there's a significant amount of fear, which makes sense. And yeah, I'm wanting to avoid trouble or avoid upsetting anybody. But that's not how life works. You can't walk on eggshells all of the time. And yeah, because that's not healthy. So I hope that this helps, number one. And I hope that if you need further clarification, you reach out, either through email or you can order through my Etsy store. My goal with my readings is to provide some clarification and a path forward and some solutions. And I really feel like the general readings are great. I usually get some pretty decent feedback about how spot on they are. But it's not specific to anybody's situation. So with a private personal reading, I can go in a little deeper into what you might be experiencing and assist better in that way. It feels like there's a lot of mental and emotional confusion coming up for you right now, Libra. And the worst thing that you could do is avoid and just not deal with stuff. So that's all that I gotta really say about that. That's really all I can say for a general reading. And I hopefully this eclipse helps you realign where you need to go. And I got major chills. Yeah. Have a good month, Libra.